Hello there, MIST students. My name's Miss Bissell and I'm the Director of Music for the Music in Secondary Schools Trust. Today we're going to go over some warm-ups that are going to help you for any practice session that you ever do, because it's really, really important that we make sure that every time we pick up our instruments, we've warmed up beforehand. In exactly the same way that in a PE lesson, before doing any running or anything like that, you'd make sure that you've warmed up your body first. So let's get started checking our posture. So can you have a look at your feet? Make sure that they are both on the floor and they're about a hip distance width apart. You need to make sure that your knees are below your hips. I'm really fortunate in that I've got quite a nice chair here, but if you need to get yourself a cushion or maybe even stack two chairs on top of each other, then you should do that. The reason for that being is that it makes sure that all of these vital organs here, including our lungs, have got the space to expand for us to be able to make the best sounds possible on our instruments. Next thing we need to do is we need to bring our bottoms towards the edge of the chair. So let's do that now. And I'd like you to now lean back. And if I show you on the side profile, you can see here, I'm leaning back. Now I'm going to use my tummy muscles, those vital organs I was talking about earlier, and they are going to bring me up. Here I go. And you can see that I've got a nice flat back position here. And this is whenever I'm playing my instrument, this is the kind of posture that I should have. Now you might find this quite tiring because it can be quite tiring sitting up really, really nice and tall. But the good trick about this is that when you're feeling tired, you can have a really nice rest. And the final thing, that is the most important thing of all, is please make sure that you've got a bottle of water handy. No fizzy pop, no squash, particularly for those clarinetists out there, because if our reeds get all sugary, it gets a bit gross. Same with our flutes, you might get gunk down your flute. But it's just really, really important to make sure that we are staying hydrated. Let's start off with our physical warm-ups now. So we're going to start from the neck all the way down. First off, let's just make some nose circles. So I want you to imagine that you're drawing a circle with your nose. And let's try and increase those circles now. And even a bit more. Nice and slowly. And your head should now be fully rotating. Excellent. Let's go up to the top. I'm going to go back around the other way, our nice big circles. And they get gradually smaller and smaller. So they're back in the middle, just like that. Okay, next thing, let's make sure that our neck is nice and warmed up as well. So I want you to bring your left ear to your left shoulder. And you're going to gently rest your hand onto the top and just gently apply a little bit of pressure, so you should be able to feel a nice deep stretch here. Don't pull too hard because I don't want to hear about any heads getting yanked off, but just make sure that it's nice. You should be feeling a nice stretch here. And then back into the middle. Excellent. And then ear onto the other shoulder. And opposite hand on the top, and just gently apply a little bit of weight to increase this stretch. Okay, and back into the middle. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our hands onto our shoulders, and I want us to draw some nice big circles all the way around. So join in with me when you can. Right the way round. Excellent. And then the other way around. And one more. Excellent. Hands back onto your laps. Next thing we're going to do is our shrugging shoulders. So I want you to bring your shoulders up to your ears. As you bring them up, try and breathe in. And as we drop them, we'll breathe out. Here we go. Up. And drop. This time when you empty out the breath, I want you to make sure that you're emptying out every single little last bit. So it's like we're completely emptying the hose of water. So here we go, up, breathe in. And out. Really good. Now time for a little bit of a silly one. We're going to bring our shoulders right up to our ears. We're then going to drop them back and we're going to let out all of the air but making sure our lips go nice and flabby. And we might feel a little bit silly, but it's fine. So here we go, up. Drop them back and down. One more time, because that felt fun being silly. Up. Really, really good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our forearms are ready, because particularly, well, for all of the instruments that we play in MIST, there can sometimes be a little bit of tension in our forearms if we aren't warming them up properly, and if we're straining them too much. So this will help us to stop straining them. So stop, bring the other hand over, and gently pull back. If it hurts, you are doing it too hard. And then flop it down the other way. So it should be down like that. Give it a shake and stop with the other hand. Hand over the top. Gently pull it back. And then down. And let's stop with the other hand. And this time we're going to stretch back every individual finger. Not too hard. I don't want to hear about any broken fingers. And down. Just pull the fingers down. Nice and gently. Give it a good shake. And stop with the other hand and stretch back each individual finger. And then drop it down. Remember, with all of these things, if it hurts, you are doing it too hard. And then I want you to bring your palms together up to your heart, or in the middle here. And then you're going to press down, trying to keep all of your fingers together. And then the other way. And then give that a shake. Now let's rotate our wrists. So outwards. And inwards. And can you show me jazz hands? And then fists. Really, really scrunch them up. And then stars. Stretch your fingers out as far as they can go. And then show me jazz hands. And fists. And stars. And finally jazz hands. Excellent. And finally, let's just make sure that our backs aren't too hunched like this. I find it quite straining on my back sitting long periods of time like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our hand onto the opposite side of the chair. Bring your other hand around to the back of the chair and twist and look over your shoulder. And back to the centre. And then let's try the other side. So hand onto the opposite chair, other hand around to the back and look over your shoulder. And back to centre. Really, really well done. I know that sometimes warming up can feel like it's not that important, but it's going to prevent any kind of injuries. It's also going to prevent any harm, any pain, and it will just make your practice and your performance a lot more enjoyable. So thank you very much for taking the time to warm up with me. Please make sure that you follow this each time that you practice, each time that you play. And if you're unsure about any of them, please make sure that you talk with your teacher. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon with your MIST instrument. Well done.